Good morning, Mayor Dan Pope with a weekly update. I hope you've had a great week. Today I want to talk about Lubbock Power and Light. Several years ago, Lp&L was in the news a lot in Lubbock. And I think there were a lot of concerns and probably well-placed concerns. But one of the things that I've found, both during the campaign and now since May as mayor, is that Lp&L is very well run right now. Good leadership, executive team, great board of citizens, and I have a lot of confidence in their abilities. Remember that in 2004, we as a city voted, nearly 85% of us said we want to separate Lp&L more from the city government, and we did a change in our charter. And even though the city council still appoints the Lp&L board, we still approve their budget. They still use a lot of the city services. There is some bit of independence, which I think is important. I think it allows them to operate better. So a couple of things are going on there. We just, with our budget, approved to increase the base rate at Lp&L 5.75%. Now the base rate's about 30% of your bill. So for the average customer, that's going to be between for a residential customer, it's not average. They're all the base rate's the same. It's going to be a little less than $2 in the winter and a little more than $2 in the summer. But that's the impact of that. Now that's year 3 of a 5-year plan to increase that base rate. All of those dollars are being reinvested into our system. Over time, that'll be a $300 million investment that we need to make. And I'm going to look at my notes so I can give you some exact data on that. But we're doing things like improving reliability of our network. We are constructing a 5-mile transmission line that we need to improve reliability and service to different parts of our community. We're launching the first stages of a transmission loop, which will allow us to connect to ERCOT. So that's how we're investing those dollars. And there's a plan, and Lp&L can share the exact plan with you how those dollars are going to be spent. Now, there is debt related to that, but it's long-term debt. These are projects that we'll use for a long time, so it is appropriate to take out 30-year debt. You might say, well, how does our debt compare? Well, on average, our citizens have $1,180 of debt per electric meter. That's how the industry measures that. On average, nationwide, there's $3,000 of debt per electric meter. So we're just a little more than a third. Now, as we make these investments, it will go up, but even when we're finished with this, we'll be still well below average debt per electric meter. So I think it's good. It's the right kind of investment. It's prudent, and it's well planned. The second part of your Lp&L bill is the usage piece of it. It's what they call the pass-through at Lp&L. Remember that Lp&L buys that energy from Xcel and passes it through. So as it moves up and down, they pass that through. There was a day and time when that rate changed every month. And about 3 years ago, Lp&L and the board decided to stabilize it. So only a couple times a year does it change. And when it changes, it reflects those changes that have happened in what we're paying Xcel. So you'll see earlier this year, it went down 17% in January. It went down significantly. We've paid a lot less for electricity this year than we did all of last year. In our last council meeting, we approved raising that rate again to match what we're being billed. In other words, we're passing it through. There's not a markup on that. That will have an increase that'll impact your bill. I think if you'll look at what you're paying in November and compare it to last November, I think you're going to find those bills to be very comparable. Now, let's talk about what we pay for electricity overall, because I think you'd find that interesting. Our rates have been lower than what Xcel charges for energy 37 out of the last 47 months. Our average residential customer has paid $215 less than Xcel customers paid since we stabilized rates in 2013. And our average residential customer has paid $269 less than the average Texas customer in that same time period. So Lp&L is still a good value. I think it's well run. They're accountable to us. They're accountable not only to the council, but most importantly to customers, to you, the people who use the electricity and pay the bills. I wanted to spend a little time today and talk about Lp&L. It may be a little more granular than a lot of you want to know, or more information than you want to know. But I've had a lot of people ask about it, so that's why I teed it up today. I appreciate all you do. We need your good ideas, your comments, your thoughts, and your prayers. I hope you have a great day and hope you have a great weekend.